Welcome back, and we talked a bit about social networks. So interestingly, we move on to this topic. There was news that the Interior Ministry was issuing letters to all the provisional officers that they should block Facebook access or not allow Facebook access during work hours. You're allowed Facebook access during your lunch break. So what does it mean?
Well, I think there's two parts of it. I mean, as far as the Ministry of Interior, there's Facebook and there's also phone calls.
They also mentioned phone calls.
Yeah, what they're saying is that you have to get approval to make an international phone call. You have to make get permission to get a domestic phone call around the country. And at the same time, we're going to ban Facebook. You cannot use Facebook during work. I think
the excuse they gave was something about bandwidth, and then it was taking up a lot of unnecessary bandwidth.
Sure.
I think Facebook was just lumped in there because people were also looking at video sites, YouTube, for instance. They were watching too many videos.
The reality of today is that when people are near their phone, when people are near their iPad, all they want to do is play with the phone, look at Facebook. And you walk through any office anywhere. I think the ministry is quite correct, but they're not going to stop it because we've still got our mobile phones. It'll save money, they say.
Right, it was not a move to increase productivity, right? I mean, increasing productivity in the civil service department, that's like an oxymoron,
we don't understand that here.
Right? Yeah.
We don't understand productivity in Thailand.
Right.
It's a non-word, you know. Is that fair enough, Tom?
Tom, what do you think?
Let's be clear. On the first segment, certainly I encourage everyone to use social media for the betterment of the country. Right. On this one, I think that the issue is very clear. It's not about Facebook. It's not about phone calls. You know, the minister of Interior, Kun Yongyut, which I did, obviously just wanted to see a way to make people more efficient. But I don't think it's only a Ministry of Interior issue. This is
government.
Not only government, even workplaces. Right. I think people have used Facebook now.
Overused
Facebook. Right. I mean, personally, I have an office, about 50 people. I actually had to tell people, stop messaging each other. Go up to their desk and just tell them what you want. You know, my personal assistant, Kunden, I had to say, Dan, stop it. You got to stop messaging people. So to me on this one, this is a good thing, right? I'm not saying, again, I want to be clear, social media to me is the most wonderful tool that a society can have for openness, for getting your message out there. But there's a place for everything. And I think the Ministry of Interior has taken the right path on this, which is say, look, guys, you're using taxpayers' money to come and work, right?
Do you really need
do you really need to be messaging somebody, uploading something, taking a picture, tweeting, Twitter, I don't know, all of this stuff.
Okay, but Tom, all these things that you mentioned a bit are alternative sources of news. Right? But some of them are even more reliable than mainstream news channels.
But I hope if you're at work, right? Are you watching television? Are you allowed to?
Actually, television is always on in any department that I go to.
To be fair, you're not. You're not watching. You're not supposed to watch. Will you allow your employees to watch TV while they're working?
Do you know what the cops? Do you know what the cops in the junction boxes do watch when they are sitting there directing traffic?
I think we're talking about apples and oranges here. I think the issue is very simple. Certainly, something should be complimented, something should be critiqued. On this one, I think the ministry has actually taken the right path, which is you come to work, right? You have breaks. When you will go get coffee, turn on your Facebook. And again, if you want to have a lunch break, a dinner, that's fine. But while you're at work, you shouldn't, to be fair, it's only Facebook, right? You shouldn't be surfing sites.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be...
Twitter, whatever it may be, yeah.
And to be fair, Thailand is inefficient enough.
It just makes
anything
it worse.
to make it more efficient. I think it's a good thing.
They mentioned it was from the cost perspective. Was mentioned about,
what is a cost perspective?
Because bandwidth.
Every minute that somebody is on Facebook or is not focusing on their jobs, that's cost to the taxpayers. But again, I actually think that all companies should take this.
I think it's a good lead from the ICT ministry that if everybody said, look, we are not going to allow this in the office. I mean, you walk around an office, I've got similar numbers to you. They never turn off of Facebook. That's the annoying part. Even if they're working, they can still get their little chat in the corner. So where is the concentration? It's just not there. And what are they talking about?
I'll be honest, the whole Facebook newsfeed thing. Do I really need to know what kind of cafe latte my friends is having today? It's like, why would I even care?
But actually, Tom, you've got better at using Facebook because you used to use it also as a way of communication. You'd say, we send you an SMS, do you want a meeting? You'd answer on Facebook. So now you've stopped that.
I too can change. I too have learned, right, that having people skills is better than having thumb skills.
Sure, but you go to a restaurant, I mean, we're talking about the workplace
Yeah.
and clearly it needs to be banned. But, you go to a restaurant and you see a family sitting there.
They don't talk to each
They
other.
don't
They're
talk
all
to
on
each
their
other.
gadgets. Yeah.
But, seriously, we're actually breeding a group of non-communicators. This is the big problem, You go out, you do sit in a restaurant, you do sit in an office, and like with your guy, it's like they just send someone else a message. It's like, I'm here. Why don't you talk to me? You don't get up off your backside and walk in and say, can we do this now? No, it's a message.
Okay.
So-
What was your? I'm sorry, I cut you off.
So
What was your point?
Facebook is not being banned.
No,
Facebook is not
being
So get that
banned.
right. Facebook is not being banned. They are just restricting the use of Facebook. Now that's
During
fine.
work
During work
That's fine.
time.
That's fine. Let's hope they don't restrict access to more information and other sites. Okay, that's a concern.
I have an office in China. I have an office in various countries, right?
Where Facebook is banned
Yeah.
totally.
China, you can't even use Facebook.
That's right.
Right? So I think, to be fair to the Thai government, whether it's the ICT ministry, whether it's this government, the past government, we try, There are things that we do ban, right? And it deals with our royal family, who we respect very, very much. And I think things like that should be banned. To me, at the end of the day, no one's going to ban Facebook. Well, Thailand is what, number 14 in the list of
Oh, I
something?
think it's
It's
even
got
come
about
up
15
now.
million
Yeah.
users right now.
It's huge.
But guys, I think the whole Ministry of Interior thing is very clear. Know when to use Facebook.
Exactly, and
right?
use it for your private use,
right.
not for business use.
Like what
Or
that-
use it to expose people who
There you go. Use it to expose
Yes,
people.
exactly.
who break the law.
Influential law breakers.
Influential law
Yeah.
breakers.
Use Facebook for the force of good rather than the force of evil.
Okay, with
Can
that,
you see,
with
can you
that,
see we're going to have a politician here in the next little while?
with that, let's move on to our next topic.
What's our next topic?
Deep trouble.
Deep trouble? Are you talking about me and my...
No, we're talking about the
My
floods.
financial
we're talking about the
situation, is
floods.
that
You're prepared for floods.
I am prepared for flood. I want
right?
to...
You
can
don't
hear
have the
this? Can we
socks
hear
now.
this?
Yeah. See,
I have
Tom is
decided
prepared
to
for
wear
floods.
no socks
Yeah.
for the next 3 months. Just to prepare for the floods.
Okay, so the floods are here.
No,
They're not here.
They're not.
They're,
They're
they're
coming.
in. Well,
They
hang
never-
on. Let's just clarify. The floods every year go to Sukhothai. Every year there's floods in Sukhothai. It doesn't mean they necessarily come down here or into Tom's home or my home as they did last year. So the floods are there. What is really annoying is the fact that the expert gets up and they talk.
There are too many
But
experts.
there are too many experts and the government don't listen. They've got their own particular group who they listen to.
It's now called the WFMF or whatever it's called.
It's
It's
the
not
same
called FROC anymore.
regurgitated,
What is it called?
The Water Management, I don't know
Yeah.
what it's called
God, I
now.
thought you were talking about Wrestling Federation.
But the
check my
reality, the
notes.
reality of it all is, I think everybody's fed up of hearing about the floods, but everybody's also scared that we're going to have more flooding. That's the
It's
issue.
called the Water and Flood Management Commission, WFMC.
Boy.
Yeah, it's much better than the
FMC,
frog name that they had last year.
So
the
I can
Flood
see Hulk
Relief
Hogan
Operations
coming out
Committee.
to defend the flood here.
Yeah.
Look, I think people have to be... My house was underwater for 3 months. Yours was too.
Yep, exactly.
Right? My thing is...
You don't want to see a repeat
No,
of
no,
it,
look,
definitely,
look.
right?
I'm very clear. I live in a world of reality, right? I try to, right? The whale is coming, right? Remember that nice little whale,
Sure.
right? Guys, don't kid yourselves. The whale is coming. The issue isn't whether or not the whale is coming. The issue is he staying for a long time this time?
Exactly.
Well, the government says this year's rainfall was 20% less than last year.
Yeah.
So that means we're going to be seeing less water, so it'll be less problematic. But Tom, they also spent 300 billion baht fixing this flood problem to try to get the water to flow out quickly.
But where's the money gone?
Where's the money gone? I mean, what has changed after 1 year?
You can't overturn, right? Years and years of cutting down trees.
Exactly.
Right? You can't overturn or redo years and years of rivers being clogged up by soot, right?
Yeah, for sure.
You can't clear the fact that
can't
the
do it all in 1 year.
The Bang Na roadway to Suvarnabhumi is one big giant dam. You can't do it all in 1 year. I think, you know how the whale's not going to stay for a long time this time? I'll give you the perfect way. If we want the whale to not stay in Thailand or Bangkok the long time, have Kun Sukhumpan, who is the governor of Bangkok, and Kun Yingluck actually get together.
Wouldn't that be nice?
And come to an agreement on who's going to manage this thing.
There is
with
no
that-
manager. There's no manager.
All right, with that, we have to round up because we are out of time, and we will come back
Just
a
getting
little
hot
bit
up,
more
yeah.
of
One
this.
last point.
We'll come back a bit more.
We
on this.
got to stop on who has the bigger you know what in terms of managing the flood.
It's irrelevant. We need
It's
one
irrelevant.
person.
We just need one person. The governor of Bangkok works for the government. So the governor of Bangkok, lower your ego by about 2 notches and the whale will go away very clear.
But let's go a little bit further. I know you're trying to break, but what about us in Nonthaburi? You know, we give in to Bangkok last time. The other thing is these other provinces. Have
That's
got to
right.
be talking.
So we don't
Let's
care
go
who
for it.
Bangkok's daddy is.
That's right. We don't. Well,
We don't care who Bangkok's daddy is. You will not flood my house this year, Bangkok.
or mine either.
There you go.
You're building up your barriers.
That's right.
Sure.
I don't care who Bangkok.
All right.
No
With that,
socks either.
with that, we go into break and see you at the next break.
They can never break your pride.